Hey everyone, this is Ann with another mini-sode of Let's Get Naked podcast. In this series, we're going to talk about making it make sense. And the first one that we're going to touch on is euthanasia. We live in a world where we'll hold our dog's paw and whisper, "You can rest now." But when it comes to a human being, we call that mercy a crime. Make it make sense. We'll euthanize a pet because we can't bear to watch them suffer, but we'll keep grandma alive through tubes, wires, and confusion, trapped in a body that forgot her own name, and we'll call it love. But that's not love, that's fear. Fear of death, fear of judgment, fear of letting go. And here's the brutal part. When people can't find peace within the system, they start taking it into their own hands. Do you think people want to put a gun to their head and die alone in a hotel room just so their family won't have to find them? That's not choice, that's desperation. That's what happens when a society refuses to give people a dignified option. We're forcing humans to end their pain in violence and secrecy instead of allowing them to leave with grace and agency. That's not moral superiority, that's moral cowardice. We need to grow up. We need to evolve past our collective denial of death and start honoring the right to choose peace. Not just for the terminally ill, but for anyone whose life has become an unbearable prison of pain, decay, or mental torment. Because keeping someone breathing while their soul has long checked out isn't compassion. It's cruelty with good intentions. I am here with Cameron to talk about this today, and I am, I would say, very passionate about this topic, so much so to the point that I'm going to have to get up off the couch and do something about it at some point, because I want to be able to go out on my own terms as well without having to walk off into a forest or fucking feed a garden hose into my car.
Or go to a Raven OD.
Okay, so here's a funny story for the listeners at home. My 29-year-old daughter, our 29-year-old daughter, I said to her something about when it gets to the time, what I had kind of figured out is, if there's a note on the garage, again, I'm 48, it's not tomorrow, but if there's a note on the garage that says just call 911, don't come in there. No one needs to see that, right? Because that's not me after I'm gone. That's just your body. But I don't want that to be something that's traumatic for the kids. And I'm explaining that to Brittany, and she's like, "Are you out of your mind?" She says, "You've lived an amazing life. I absolutely think you deserve better than that." And I said, "I think I do too." She says, "Here's how we're going to do it." I know. She's so great. What a giver that was.
What a great daughter.
What a great daughter.
I'm going to tell you exactly how we're going to kill you, Mom.
Which is excellent, though. Which is excellent. She says, I'm going to take you to a rave, and I'm going to give you as many fun drugs as you want for the whole night. And when you're done, when you're ready to check out, you just let me know, and I'm going to take care of giving you whatever the dose is that's going to send you over the other edge. And I'm like, that is the kind of daughter I raised. Yeah. That's a daughter I can be fucking proud of, because I watch as we have elderly people who have dementia for 10 years, right, who literally destroy families, who you have people that are trying to, keep them alive. Who is that profiting? We can talk about Big Pharma next mini episode. Right. But it's like, how is that justice? How is that?
Just go right back to the opportunity cost on that one, too.
Right. It totally is. But I look at that and I think we will allow our dogs and our pets to die with dignity, but not our humans, right? When they're sick or they're old or they are shitting themselves or they can't figure out, no, we're going to have to spend, scrape together $10,000 a month to put them in a place where they have substandard care, if that, right, and then feel guilty about not going and visiting them because they can't remember our fucking name or they get violent.
That's not living.
That's not living. It's like, why have we not fixed this before now? It's 2025. That's where I come from. That's why I'm so passionate about that, because it's like, how is that okay? I've watched too many of my friends who have parents that have Alzheimer's, have dementia. They wouldn't want to do this to their children. I look at that. I don't want to do that to my children, to our children. I don't want that to be something where it's like, I'm forcing them now to be in this, what we call a sandwich generation, where you're raising your children and dealing with aging parents.
Right.
There's no quality of life in that. I wouldn't want that for them. So not having a dignified way to be able to end, my time on this earth, what a joke, to have to come up with. Here's the deal. Your life isn't going to magically fix itself. Nobody's coming to save you. But you can learn how to save yourself. That's what this book is. It's a no BS guide to stop outsourcing your happiness, stop making excuses, and start living with purpose. If you're tired of waiting for someday, consider this your wake-up call. Someday is today. Get your copy of the Life Hack Playbook on Amazon or on the podcast website, letsgetnakedpodcast.com. And you see it all the time. People go to a hotel room and blow their brains out. That poor maid has to find that. Or someone has, you're causing trauma at the hotel where people have to listen to gunshots or whatever way you take yourself out, because we can't grow up as adults and realize that 10 out of 10 of us die, right? 10 out of 10 of us. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how great you are or any of the things. Every single one of us is going to die. And yet somehow we still have people that aren't willing to talk about it like we're children, right? Like I've talked to old people that were talking about wills and stuff. And it's like, I don't want to talk about that. That's making me uncomfortable. You've been on this planet for 70 or 80 years and you don't want to talk about your fucking will? Grow up.
Yeah, think about how uncomfortable you're going to make the people in your wake if you don't get that done.
I watch shit like that and I can't even get my fucking head around it. It's like, you don't want to be uncomfortable, and so the rest of us are going to have to deal with that. You're handing somebody your bag of problems that they're going to have to deal with while they're also trying to navigate their regular life. Because here's a news flash. Everyone already has a full fucking life. No one's sitting around going, I can't wait to spend 40 hours of my week dealing with fucking probate and all of this bullshit because my parents didn't put anything in writing, or now I got to figure out what that looks like for paying a hotel to clean their brains up off the fucking floor because we can't be old, mature enough to talk about what dying with dignity would actually look like without having to jump through all of these hoops. Who's making the decisions when it comes to that? I don't know. But again, I'm going to have to get up off the couch, figure out who is making the decisions when it comes to that shit. Dr. Kevorkian had it right. Like, I don't know the full details about that situation, but,
He did. And Canada has some intriguing options as far as that goes also. From what I understand, it's pretty easy to go get that done up there.
Say more.
Well, maybe if we're going to do, if the United States is going to support this whole birth tourism concept, maybe we need to create a death tourism concept in Canada, right? It seems only fair.
I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. I don't know what the birth tourism. I don't know what any of that stuff is.
What?
Yeah, don't educate me.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Yeah, we're not going to get into all that.
Everyone knows I have my head in the sand.
No. The point of it is that Canada has the euthanasia thing figured out better than we do.
Where you can just go.
Might be the only thing Canada has figured out better than we do, but they do have that option there.
And you can just go say, like, I'm done.
And you can just go say that you're done. One of my favorite stories, there was one of their Olympic athletes, a paraplegic athlete in the Special Olympic program, had been petitioning their healthcare system for a wheelchair, for a long time, because you can't, their socialized medicine there doesn't allow you just to go to a provider and get stuff. You have to go through their process, right? And so she had to go through the process of getting this updated wheelchair. And through that process, she was contacted by the health service that said, maybe instead of waiting around for the wheelchair, if things aren't really going so well for you, we can just, give you the pills and you can just end it, right? They didn't know who she was. She was one of their paraplegic, Olympic athletes, right? She's living. She's doing just fine.
And they're offering her
they're offering her the drugs to get her to take the permanent snooze.
Wow.
So
I don't know what the rules should be, and I don't know who needs to get involved. But I'm going to say this. If you know who it is that I need to get in front of, please fucking send me a message. Because somebody's going to have to do something at least before I'm 70. Because I personally think once you hit 70, you shouldn't even have to clear a background. Like, you're like, you know what? I'm done.
Tap out.
I lived a nice life, right? I don't want to be shitting myself or wearing diapers or like whatever that looks like. There's no dignity in that. Stop it, right?
Yep.
Your kids don't want to wipe your ass. I guarantee you.
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to. So that's all we're going to say about that.
Okay.